Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, June 20th, crumbling control, colliding secrets, and the birth of a new future. As summer hits Salem, the days may be longer but the drama cuts deeper. The Friday, June 20th episode of Days of Our Lives promises to deliver a potent blend of emotional reckoning, psychological unraveling, and milestone moments for the next generation. Let's unravel it all in a narrative that moves from internal turmoil to new beginnings. Sarah's fragile grip on reality. A doctor, a mother, a wounded woman. Sarah Horton has always worn many hats in Salem: doctor, mother, daughter, and friend. But beneath her medical professionalism and bright smile, there's a turbulent sea of emotional wounds that hasn't quite healed. This week, Sarah begins to question a terrifying possibility. Is she losing control again? Her mind is full of contradictions. She's intelligent and compassionate, yet impulsive and prone to lapses in judgment. Who could forget the dark period when she believed she was Renee Demond, the result of cruel brainwashing? That chapter is behind her, but some scars never fully fade. And now, with the growing stress of protecting her daughter from her abusive ex-husband, it's clear that Sarah is struggling to maintain her emotional footing. That's where Dr. Marlene Evans steps in once again. The trusted psychiatrist recognizes the signs of a woman teetering on the edge. Sarah's insistence that she has everything under control is becoming harder to believe, especially as she juggles a heavy caseload and a heartbreaking personal life. It may take Marlene's calm wisdom to help Sarah confront the storm building inside her. Youth interrupted. Salem's graduates face grown-up pain. Salem High's graduation should be a time of joy, reflection, and the start of a bright future. But for several of Salem's teens, this milestone is shrouded in pain, uncertainty, and unresolved trauma. Sophia Choi Rachel Boyd is a young woman dealing with something most of her classmates couldn't begin to imagine: an unplanned pregnancy, which is rapidly nearing its dramatic conclusion. She and Tate Black Leo Howard have agreed to pursue adoption, but as the reality of giving birth sets in, the decision weighs heavily on both of them. The contrast is stark. While most graduates are worried about college deposits and dorm assignments, Sophia and Tate are grappling with the lifelong implications of bringing a child into the world. Aaron, Sophia's close friend, is carrying his own burden. His brother is behind bars, and the ripple effects of that incarceration leave him feeling isolated in a room full of cheers and camera flashes. And then there's Holly, whose biggest concern seems to be whether her ex-boyfriend's accusations will drive a wedge between her and her current crush. While her teen drama is real in its own right, it pales in comparison to the far more serious challenges Sophia and Tate are facing. Still, all of these emotions are bubbling in the same cauldron, and no one walks away unscathed. Secrets, showdowns, and Salem's splintering families. Meanwhile, over at the DeMera mansion, the tension between Brady Black, Eric Martsolf, and EJ DeMera Dan Furigal reaches a boiling point. Brady has uncovered a new layer to EJ's ever-growing pile of secrets, and he's not about to let them slide. The confrontation escalates quickly, and with young Rachel Alice Halsey present, the emotional stakes skyrocket. Whether it's the shock of the argument or a resurgence of past trauma, Rachel requires immediate medical attention, and she's taken back to the hospital. While it's unclear whether it's a full-blown emergency or a precautionary checkup, the encounter is serious enough to alarm everyone involved. At the hospital, fate aligns the characters in unexpected ways. Marlene, who has just had a difficult session with Sarah, crosses paths with Rachel and Brady. Old bonds are rekindled and new wounds are revealed. Marlene's concern for Rachel is as maternal as it is clinical, and her quiet strength provides some much-needed stability in an otherwise chaotic day. Labor of love. Sophia's delivery begins. Back at the hospital, the moment we've all been anticipating finally Sophia goes into labor. Tate, despite his age, steps into a protector role with surprising poise. Alongside Amy Shai and Annie Nielsen, likely a doula or nurse, stays by Sophia's side as the contractions begin. In a full-circle moment, Tate's father, Brady, arrives and offers his own brand of support. This is a huge opportunity for father and son to reconnect in a raw and emotionally charged setting, one that underscores the generational themes of fatherhood, mistakes, and redemption. As Sophia battles through labor pains and emotional exhaustion, Tate remains her anchor. Whatever the future holds for their child, this is a defining moment in both of their young lives and a potential turning point in their relationship. Meanwhile, in the shadows of Salem. Elsewhere in Salem, the DeMera fallout continues to affect everyone. Chanel Raven Bowens confronts EJ with righteous fury, unwilling to let his actions go unchecked. Meanwhile, Paulina and Abe try to lift Johnny out of his emotional slump. His unresolved secretone that links directly to the Price, Carver and DiMera familiars become a ticking time bomb. The fallout won't just affect him, it could fracture multiple families across Salem. The quiet after the storm. Marlene and Rachel reflect. In one of the day's most tender moments, Marlene and Rachel sit together in silence, slowly working on a puzzle. It's a scene that could be mistaken for simple bonding, but there's grief lurking underneath. The act of piecing together a puzzle becomes symbolic of their attempts to make sense of the chaos around them. Loss, confusion, and fear all filtered through the gentle rhythm of fitting one piece into another. Sometimes, that's all you can do. Conclusion. A day that changes everything. Friday, June 20th isn't just another day in Salem, it's a day of reckoning, a day of rebirth, and a day when the fragile line between control and collapse finally snaps. Days of Our Lives, a Father's Day of heartache, healing, and hidden truths. The June 20th, 2025 episode of Days of Our Lives unfolds against the backdrop of Father's Day, a day meant to celebrate the bonds between fathers and their children. But in Salem, where emotions run deep and secrets linger, this holiday becomes a canvas for raw confrontations, tender reconciliations, and unspoken fears. With E.J. DiMera, Johnny DiMera, Chanel Dupree DiMera, and others at the heart of the story, this episode weaves a tapestry of love, loss, and the courage to face an uncertain future. For longtime fans, particularly those who cherish the show's ability to balance drama with heartfelt moments, this day in Salem is one to remember. A Father's Day card and painful memories. The episode opens at the Grand DiMera mansion, where E.J. DiMera Dan Furigal sits in the quiet elegance of his study. The morning light filters through the windows, casting a soft glow on a Father's Day card from his daughter, Sydney. As he opens it, a smile briefly lights up his face, her words a reminder of the love they share. But the warmth fades as quickly as it came, replaced by a haunting memory, his son, Johnny Carson Boatman, pointing a gun at him in a moment of betrayal and rage. The image is a wound that refuses to heal, a stark reminder of the fractured bond between father and son. E.J., a man accustomed to wielding power, is no stranger to conflict. Yet, this personal rift with Johnny cuts deeper than any corporate battle or family feud. The gun, the anger, the words exchanged that night linger like a shadow, threatening to unravel the DiMera legacy. As he stares at the card, E.J.'s mind wrestles with guilt and longing, wondering if he'll ever regain his son's trust. For viewers who followed E.J.'s complex journey from ruthless schemer to devoted father, this moment captures the vulnerability beneath his polished exterior. A gift and a promise unspoken. Across town, in the cozy apartment Johnny shares with Chanel Dupree DiMera Raven Bowens, the morning unfolds with a different kind of tension. Johnny discovers a wrapped gift on the kitchen counter, its festive paper a small beacon of Father's Day cheer. Chanel, distracted and juggling her responsibilities at Sweet Bits Bakery, brushes it off as his first Father's Day gift. Her words carry a weight neither of them fully acknowledge, the nod to their shared dreams of starting a family. Dreams that have been tested by loss and uncertainty. Johnny, ever the optimist, tells Chanel to keep the gift, his voice soft with promise. One day, he says, leaving the rest unspoken. The moment is tender but fleeting, as life in Salem rarely allows for lingering sentiment. He suggests pancakes before he heads to work, a simple gesture to anchor them in the present, but Chanel's mind is elsewhere. She's due at Sweet Bits, where her passion for baking is both a refuge and a relentless demand. As Johnny leaves, Chanel makes a quiet call to her employee Felicity, confirming she'd be late. The call is practical, but her tone betrays a deeper preoccupation, a secret she's not ready to share. Alone in the apartment, Chanel picks up the wrapped gift again, her fingers tracing the edges of the box. She holds it not with joy, but with a stern resolve, as if it represents a choice she's not yet prepared to make. For Chanel, a woman who's faced heartbreak and triumphed over adversity, this gift is more than a token, it's a symbol of the future she and Johnny once envisioned, now clouded by her own hidden struggles. A father's apology and a son's dilemma. The apartment becomes the stage for the episode's emotional centerpiece when E.J. arrives, unannounced, to see Johnny. The air crackles with tension as father and son face each other, their shared history a minefield of unspoken grievances. Johnny, still raw from the loss of his grandfather, John Black, assumes E.J.'s visit is about that tragedy. But E.J.'s purpose is more personal, his words carrying the weight of a man seeking redemption. "I was wrong to force you to forgive me," E.J. admits, his voice steady but laced with regret. He speaks of Johnny's resemblance to John, a man of principle, rather than himself, a father who's made mistakes. Johnny bristles, his mind flashing to the night he held a gun to EJ, driven by anger over EJ's actions against his mother, Sammy. The memory is a wound they both carry, and EJ's acknowledgement of it is both a confession and a plea. In a moment of raw honesty, EJ offers Johnny something he's rarely given anyone: freedom. "I love you with all my heart," he says, "but sometimes loving someone means letting them go." He vows to step back, to stop pushing, to let Johnny decide their future. It's a sacrifice that shakes Johnny, who's spent years wrestling with his feelings for his father. Despite his anger over Sammy, over the DiMera legacy, over the pain of that night, Johnny can't deny EJ's love. It's a love that's flawed, often selfish, but undeniably real. The loss of John has left Johnny wary of more grief, and EJ's offer to walk away feels like another potential fracture. "Take your time," EJ urges, promising to accept whatever Johnny decides. As EJ leaves, Johnny is left alone with his thoughts, the wrapped gift still on the counter, a silent reminder of the family he might one day build and the father he might lose. Secrets and strength at the hospital. Meanwhile, at University Hospital, Chanel navigates a different kind of challenge. She crosses paths with Paulina Price Jackie Harry, her vibrant mother, who's there for her annual checkup. Paulina is in high spirits, planning to deliver a speech at the high school graduation and celebrate her wedding anniversary with Ib Carver James Reynolds. Her energy is infectious, a testament to her resilience, but Chanel's smile is strained. She's at the hospital for observation following her cancer surgery, a fact she keeps from Paulina to spare her worrying. Chanel's silence extends to Johnny, who's already carrying the weight of his family's drama. She doesn't want to burden him further, especially as she grapples with a deeply personal question: can she and Johnny try for another child? The loss of their first pregnancy was a devastation they've barely begun to heal from, and Chanel's consultation with Dr. Sarah Horton Lindsay Godfrey is a step toward answers. She wants to protect Johnny from the pressure of this decision, to shield him from the fear that's been gnawing at her since her diagnosis. Her strength is quiet but fierce, a reflection of the woman she's become in Salem's crucible of trials. As Paulina chats about her plans, Chanel listens, her heart heavy with the weight of her secret. The hospital, a place of healing and hope, feels like a crossroads where her past and future collide. For viewers, this moment underscores Chanel's courage, a young woman balancing love, loss, and the hope for a family against the shadow of her health. A day of reflection and resilience. As the episode draws to a close, the residents of Salem are left to navigate the aftermath of Father's Day. EJ returns to the DiMera mansion, the card from Sydney still on his desk, a bittersweet reminder of the children he loves and the mistakes he can't undo. Johnny, alone in his apartment, stares at the wrapped gift, its promise of a future tempered by the choices he faces. Chanel, back at Sweet Bits, throws herself into her work, her secret a burden she carries with grace. In Salem, Father's Day is more than a holiday, it's a mirror reflecting the complexities of family, the pain of past mistakes, and the hope for reconciliation. For EJ and Johnny, it's a chance to redefine their bond, to choose love over resentment. For Chanel, it's a reminder of the strength she draws from her dreams, even in the face of uncertainty. And for viewers, it's a poignant chapter in the ongoing saga of Days of Our Lives, a show that continues to capture the heart with its timeless exploration of human connection. So, settle in and let the drama unfold. June 20th, 2025, is a day in Salem that will linger long after the credits roll, a testament to the enduring power of family, forgiveness, and the courage to face tomorrow.